Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We're playing our Naya Ghostway deck once again. This time we're playing against an elf deck, which is a little bit interesting. So let's go ahead and get underway. This is our opener. See, it's only a one-lander, but thanks to Bop, I'm willing to keep it, particularly as we've got these Wall of Omens that can help draw us out with this situation, so willing to risk it. But we are on the play, so might be a little bit dangerous. So, put these off with Landmar Elves. I'm going to play that Wall of Omens, which thankfully draws us into our second land, which is Stomping Ground. I'm going to play Rend, presumably revealing that Elvish Mystic that you just dropped. Yep. We draw Bop, so we're just going to play second Wall of Omens, followed by this Bop, and we draw into tech. We get our third land as well, so we don't miss a land drop, which is always nice. Touching we're a little light on white sources outside of our Bops. Elvish Champion is a rather drop from our opponent. Forest Walk means we just can't block, so we're going to take a hefty 8 damage here down to 10. Fortunately we do have the path, but we're going to need to keep that up. Thanks to the Wood Foothills we can actually cast our Magus to the disc, which is what I really want to do. I really want to live the dream and tap this, destroy everything, and then Ghostway in response, so we got all our guys back. But I also really want to pass so we don't just die next turn. But thanks to the Wood Foothills we're going to be able to still search up a Temple Garden, which should be sufficient. So, that Nykthos is a little scary. Fortunately I think he just plays another Archdruid. And although this is going to hurt, it's also going to save us, so we're going to be able to do that. Then block the Wall of Omens around, because when we Ghostway that's going to draw us an extra card, so I ended up taking 4 down to 3. Slightly risky, but I think worth it. We're going to be able to wipe his board next turn, and the Ghostway will draw us 2 cards with these Wall of Omens, so I think that's worth keeping them around for. I play this Elvish Visionary that I draw because I'm planning to Ghostway, and we can afford to do that and Ghostway and blow up the Magus, which is nice. I could destroy everything now, but I figured I might as well wait for his turn. As it turns out, our opponent goes for a rather huge Genesis Wave, I believe. Yeah, Genesis Wave for 11, which puts quite a lot of stuff into play. A load of forests, the Nykthos, and all these elf guys. Which is kind of why maybe we should have blown the Magus beforehand, just so we can do this, because at the very least it thins his deck, but at the same time Magus is just answer to all these things dropping into play. So hold control in response while activating the Magus, then cast Ghostway, and so while all our creatures are off the board, we get to destroy all of his creatures, which is super awesome. Draw some cards here, 3 cards. We get to keep our Magus as well, so we can do it all again, thanks to having Ghostway in hand as well. Let's go attack with the Visionary. I'm going to drop this Kitchen Sinks and pass. I choose not to use the cord. I probably should have used the cord earlier. Probably to get Eternal Witness actually, just so then we can start these Ghostway loops, which are obviously really sick, I think, given that we have 3 creatures that draw us cards, so just going to be drawing 3 cards on every loop. So I probably should have used cord a little bit more aggressively. Alternatively we could have got, I suppose Resto, just as a sort of additional beater to maybe kill him a little bit faster. I think what I was actually looking for was to either draw a Resto or draw Kiki, and then obviously get the other piece of the combo, but I think it would have been worth getting Eternal Witness actually. We could have got that cord and then Ghostwayed and then etc, and then we wouldn't have really lost anything from doing that, so I think it would have been well worthwhile. doesn't matter a great deal. We end up drawing an Eternal Witness, and that's where our opponent concedes because he sees what's coming. Ghostway loops lots of me drawing spells and gaining life, etc. So yeah, he sees the writing on the wall there and ends up conceding. Yeah, really sweet to live the dream of actually blowing everything up with Megas at the disc. Not really as fanciful as it may seem, but sometimes a little bit slow. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to show you this matchup, just because we actually got to do that combo there. It was a good match. So let's forge ahead. So this is our opener. Not the fastest, not the best. Don't really want to see double cord in our opener. We've got a path to answer one of his lords, and Kitchen thinks is a very decent card against sort of small attacking creatures. Mystic passes back. We really need to find our third land, otherwise we're going to struggle a little bit. Plays perfect. Empire is perfect. I was tempted to pass here. I can't really quite remember why I didn't. I suppose I just wasn't as worried about two, potentially something bigger. There's Zuri, which I would have. I don't know whether that was the right thing or not, but Zuri's overrun ability is pretty terrifying, so decided to pass that instead. Actually, the perfect can make an elf every turn for just something we can't really keep up with, so yeah, it's definitely going to become a problem. I play Kitchen thinks here. I think maybe I would have been better off trying to card up Eternal Witness to get back our path, and then sort of go from there. We could have then Ghostwayed to get back the path if necessary, or just Ghostwayed and then sort of kept things going, gaining a bit of life, etc. I feel like that would have been a better way to go, probably, and may have been the better route to go down. Instead I end up just running out Kitchen Sinks, which I don't think was quite as good. So he plays set 6, which kinda can't always remember what it does. So until end of turn, a target number of target creatures gets +1/+1 and gain tap. This creature fights another target creature. Costs 2 mana and then strive. You can up the number of targets. So he targets his Rensman Vanquisher and these 2 tokens. Kills off my Wall of Omens with the 5/5 Rensman Vanquisher, which also had Death Touch, so it's actually capable of killing anything, pretty much. And then he knocks down our Kitchen Thinks, which isn't particularly effective given that they come back, but oh well. Attacks with the 2 guys. I don't particularly want to trade. Is back, so that's something. I play another Thinks again. I think I was guessing I was gonna eventually blink them all and gain a lot of life, but maybe we would have been better off getting Witness or something. Probably. I think we probably should have used these cards a little earlier to do something or other. Genesis Wave for 3 gets him an Elvish Archdruid and another Rensman Vanquisher. Yeah, his forces are getting fairly scary. Generates a ton of mana here and has a second Genesis Wave for 9. He can play Nixos now along with Zuri. And yeah, I didn't really see this coming, but this is a pretty brutal beatdown. Actually, thanks to drawing Kiki, we could have won here, I think, next turn. Yeah, so we used a cord for Angel, which is I think what we were planning to do. And then obviously try and Kiki. I suppose we don't have the Kiki mana though, do we? Yeah. I suppose if we hadn't drawn Kiki, we actually would have had that potential line. Thanks to the double cord, we could have corded this turn into Angel and then corded into Kiki the following turn. But yeah, as it was, he gets Nykthos in play, he can activate it with Azuri, and his creatures get stupidly big if they aren't already with trample. So yeah, we end up losing that one. So that did not work out particularly well. Possibly could have played a bit better. Maybe searched up some different things. There are a lot of lines of play potentially with this deck, so that's always a nice thing, but can make it a little bit complicated at times. So I'm going to lead off with Temple Garden. His hand seems fairly decent. Got Visionary into Witness into Angel potentially. We draw Kiki, which means potentially we've got a very fast combo available to us. And we draw a card into Wooded Foothills, which helps in that area. Third Druid and Elvish Mystic, not the most exciting start for our opponent. Search of a Stomping Ground and an Eternal Witness back our Wooded Foothills to make sure we're going to get that 5th mana for Kiki, because we're definitely on the combo plan here. Sets and Tactics allows him to kill off my guys, but I'm not actually that worried about it, given that we're just looking to combo here as fast as possible. Plays a Garruk and tap some lands, and that's Druid. Plays a hard cast, well, it's always hard cast, but Rensrin Vanquisher for 5, which means he hasn't got any elves left in his hand. As I would say. We correct Wooded Foothills. I actually get the Stomping Ground here, which is a mistake because we need to get that with the Windswept Teeth. We should have fetched up the basic mountain, which I can't get with my Windswept Teeth. So yeah, a big mistake here actually, means we can't win next turn. But fortunately we were able to make amends, not to spoil anything. So I'm going to play out this Visionary, just pass the turn. Well, attack first and then pass the turn. Plan to Ghostway. Or attack the Garruk to finish it off, but he has a second Garruk. Makes a token. Oh, I didn't finish. Yeah, he makes a token, a 3/3 beast token, then plays the second Garruk and makes another token. Which isn't too scary unless he's got some sort of overrun effect, which certainly isn't going to come into play just yet. Block the 3/3 with our Elvish Visionary. We're going to Ghostway, which is going to be able to draw us 2 cards, and we're just going to take 2 for this turn, preventing that 3 damage, which is nice. So draw a couple of cards. Found a Wooded Foothills, which is our saving grace, as it were, as it's going to allow us to actually cast Kiki after that mistake. And we're just able to combo off here, so that finishes things up quite nicely. So Kiki, Cloud of Angels, and our opponent concedes. So yeah, we managed to pull it together eventually. It's kind of a fun matchup. You got to see some of the better interactions. Obviously not a top deck in the metagame, but you know, it was interesting to see some of the crazy stuff that this deck can do against maybe a slightly lesser opponent, and also got to see the Megas of the Disc combination, which is very fun.